Will Chamberlain.
So that's what I
thing,
wanted.
by the way.
Do I buy it?
Hey, like, do you think it happened?
So you were actually asking me this the other day. Lay it on me. Do you have any proof that? I love the Chiron
I
right
feel
now.
like
It says,
that
did
is-
Wilt Chamberlain score 100 points? I mean, like I think he scored 100 points in a game. I'm just not. I don't know how
I'm just
impressive it
asking
is.
the questions, Mike.
Oh,
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that's what the internet has been talking about in recent years, is whether that's a thing. Because look, there's no video footage of it. There's just the radio broadcast, which I think was covered in the late '80s. So there's just a lot of things that make it.
This was
make you think.
1962. The Warriors beat the Knicks 169-147.
There's actually an article in the Athletic back in March, because I think it happened like March 2nd or something.
That's what I literally just said. Or did I?
Oh,
not
did you say that?
No, I don't know. We'll go back to the tape, I guess.
Well, at least we have the tape, unlike the Wilt Chamberlain's game. So it's 100-point game. Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. Why some are saying Pixar didn't happen. And basically just went into, point by point why people question whether it did in fact happen. Now, I obviously I do think it happened, but it is just kind of funny to read sort of the the game commentary. It's basically just like turned into a foul fest. It's just two teams going back and forth, fouling each other. I think the Knicks were fouling him to try to ensure that he wouldn't keep scoring, but the Warriors were fouling to get the ball back. It just turned into a total mess. So.
What the hell? Yeah, this is a lot. There's a book written in 2005. The lack of videotape only added to its mystique, which is a very nice spin zone for Wilt Chamberlain. I believe it. I just I don't think it's that impressive. He was so much bigger and stronger than everybody. I think it's just something that's like,
game.
Here's a random night in March. Let's go let him score 100 points. I don't,
Yeah, it was in front of what, 4,000 people in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
4,124 in Hershey, yeah.
But also part of that game, you went 28 of 32 from the line. Is a 51% free throw shooter before that. So
soft rims.
That's what they're saying. That's what the people are saying. That the very soft rims in that venue. So, good on him for taking advantage of it, I guess.
So I guess you could call that. We're out. If we're doing sports mythbusters, the jury's out on that. What other sports myths?
We could devote an entire episode to sports myths.
What do you find hardest to believe among all of these? I think that's the other thing. This is probably goes without saying. Sports myths are dead.
Yeah.
Just it is very much Pixar. It didn't happen. So all of these are very, very old.
Very easily.
What else are you skeptical of?
Babe Ruth's existence, but
I literally
anything related to Babe Ruth.
Jesus Christ.
Is that what?
Babe Ruth's called shot is the most overblown thing ever, as is pretty much anything Babe Ruth.
I read an article a few weeks ago that they were basically talking about how great Shohei Ohtani is, and whether he, does there come a point where you just decide to make him a DH because he's that valuable as a hitter? And one of the lines in there mentioned Babe Ruth's defensive analytics. They were like, going back, if you were to look at his defensive analytics, he would be exceptional in that regard as well. And that to me was just like a giant red flag. No way that guy would have been an elite defender.
No.
I don't know what we're basing that on. We're pulling numbers out of our ass, but no. That guy, no. Not buying
it. Maybe my hottest sports take that I have is that Babe Ruth wasn't even that good.
Wait, wasn't that good? I don't even. Was he even a guy?
You talk about
was he even a guy?
Yeah. So now we're talking. Talk about the Wilt Chamberlain of it all, with him just being bigger and stronger than everybody. I think there's some of that to Bill Russell and a handful of other big guys at that time. I think human beings were just smaller, and so maybe he was just a very massive human being who put a lot of inertia into his swing and was getting 84-mile-per-hour slop thrown at him, and he just was bigger and fatter and found a way to. I guess there's some talent to that. I stand by the fact that though, at my height, at my prime, I could get him out.
Okay. Yeah.
No,
I'm not doubting your pitching acumen.
It's like he doesn't.
That is it was Adam Ottavino a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Was it him that was making that argument? I feel like multiple pitchers.
But yeah, that's almost unfair to Babe Ruth to like Adam Ottavino would shove it so far up his keister, like because it's not even the same sport anymore. But I think there was a time in like the 20th century where life was good after the war. This is a theory I'm like really workshopping right now, that like we just overblew everything and just everything was sunshine and roses. I don't know if it's the hippies' fault. I don't know if it's just the fact that nothing really happened in the 70s and 80s and then into the 90s life was good, and now like maybe is it the 9/11 is the line of demarcation. Now there's much more cynicism and negativity in this world, but I just think we had a tendency, those generations that came before us, to overblow everything, and the smart people, the powerful people, were the ones who were establishing the records and the history, and nobody was there to challenge them because there's just no power for them to challenge them, nor technology. So I just think everything gets overblown.
Yep. Speaking of the hippies, Doc Ellis's LSD no-hitter. Come on. Come on. I think that's the one I'm not buying, to go back to your original question.
I mean, if I had to,
he's the only one that ever said it, right? He dropped it like 14 years after.
I was going to say, if you do it way
after
the fact, that's
all right.
Ricky, fun fact about me: I was on LSD for the first 99 episodes of The Spread.
So could have fooled me.
There we go.